Oh la la. Hello darlings, and welcome to Saturday's, is it Saturday? It is, isn't it? Welcome to Saturday's Daily Diary. It's the 1st of November, so pinch punch, first of the month, white rabbits and all of that. The time is, oh, I've got a bit of fuel, that's handy. The time is 16:15, 4:15, and it is currently 9 degrees at Windy Bottom. Right, today's Daily Diary is going to be mostly a continuation to yesterday's video and a reaction and reply to your comments on it thus far. Thank you very much for all of them. Seriously, thank you, means the world. Some lovely comments so far. Nobody's called me a drunken idiot. Everybody said that, you know, this is a positive step, so thank you very much. A couple of things to dust off before I forget about them, because they keep coming up. Why don't you sell the cars? Well, number one, I don't own them. I have the use of them, but I don't own them, so if I sold them, the money wouldn't go into my pocket. However, people have quite rightly said that even with that being the case, if I didn't have them, I wouldn't be paying road tax, insurance, so on and so forth, and that is a very valid point. One of the cars, MINGEBAG, will be going, and it will be going to another YouTube channel, Project Nigel, who also happens to be my best friend, Captain Mustard, as many of you watching will know. So MINGEBAG's going to him, quite rightly. Now, Officer CRABTREE will be staying because at some point, if this all goes according to plan, I will be getting a Caravan and I need something to tow it. That will be Officer CRABTREE's job. He's a big, powerful car, and he's already fitted with a tow bar and electrics. I also need a little economical runabout for work, and that will be this one, Madam Fanny. So Madam Fanny will also be staying. So that only leaves YVETTE CARTE-BLANCHE, and YVETTE CARTE-BLANCHE might go, might not. If the right home comes up, then she can go. Right, another thing to dust off. This has come up a lot. Why don't you set up a GoFundMe? Then people come up with various figures. If 1,000 of us all just gave £1, who would notice £1? Blah blah blah. I'd gladly bung in a £5. Lots of comments like that, and you know, it's very kind, and I thank you very much. I'm not going to do it, and here's why. Pride, really. Pride comes into it in a big way. Now, I don't particularly want to be out there on a public forum saying, I've made a complete balls up of my life. I'm right up shit creek. Please give me your hard-earned money to help me out. Yeah, not going to happen. Partly for pride, and also because I don't believe that life should work like that. You know, you make your bed, you lie in it. You don't ask somebody else to lie in it for you or to buy you a different bed. If you've got 2 good arms, 2 good legs, and something in between your ears, and I have, then get yourself out of your own trouble, as it were. And also, I mean, I know that you could say that, well, you're putting it out on a public forum that you're in this situation, and of course I am, but I genuinely don't feel any shame in that. I'm in this situation because of decisions that I made, nobody else. And actually, truth be told, I'm quite proud of them. And even the situation being what it is, I wouldn't change any of the decisions I've made. I'm genuinely quite proud of them. through my decisions, other people became financially secure, people who deserve to be, people who should be, people that I cared about. And I could have made money again. I had the possibilities of making money again. I chose not to, because I didn't want to be the person that I was before. I discovered that I'm a different person, and I prefer the person that I am now. The person that gives a shit about other people, the person that isn't all up himself. Do you know what I mean? I just think I'm a better person now, and so I didn't want to go back to being that person. And also, money and material possessions ceased to matter to me. You know, the grass is always greener, isn't it? And sometimes you've got to have worn the t-shirt to know that you don't wear it anymore. If you've not had success, then you'll always think that you would want it. When you have it, and then you experience a different life where you're happier, you can make an informed decision about where you want to be in life. And that's what I did. I chose what I hoped would be a happier life, and it has been a happier life. And I think I've been a better person. And for the past 10 years, my primary motivation has been to make a difference for other people anywhere that I can, and in any way that I can. And people have told me that I've done exactly that. So I'm quite proud of that. I'm not ashamed to be in this situation. I don't mind it being out there on videos that, you know, I'm 54 years old, haven't got a pot to piss in, and I'm about to become homeless. I'm fine with that. But I'm not going to put a thing out there saying all of that and then, please help me. No, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Now, people have said, yeah, but you go to a lot of effort with your YouTube channel, you bring people enjoyment, which seems a bit far-fetched, but that might be true. There might be people that appreciate the fact that I put videos out there, and particularly the fact that I do a live stream every night, every single day of the year, longer ones on Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, because I hate the idea of anybody being entirely alone. I know that virtual company isn't the same as in-person company, but it's a damn sight better than nothing at all. I'm proud of the community that I'm part of and that I've played a part in creating. And people say, you know, if people are grateful for that, why shouldn't they have the chance to show their gratitude by, you know, just helping you out a little bit? Well, they can. They can. In the description to every single video and every single live stream, there are ways that you can, well, whatever you want to put it, bung me a quid, buy me a bottle of wine, whatever. If you want to show some form, if anybody wants to show some form of appreciation or support, there are ways to do it. They're already there. I'm just not going to bang on about them, and I'm not going to say, hey, if you want to send some money, this is where the link is. I'm not going to do it. No. I do not beat people over the head with my begging bowl. If people do support me, people, bless them. I had a couple of buy me a coffees last week. Somebody sent a PayPal bung. I've had gifted channel memberships the night before last. It does happen, and I'm deeply grateful, but I won't ask. Right, that's that. Okay, right, other things to address from the comments on the video that went out today. Thank you for them. Right, what have people been saying? Right, one thing that's come, basically everybody thinks this is a positive thing, and I agree. A couple of people have said, look, if you'd left it until you had the money in place, assuming that you could get the money in place, you might not have had a place to go to. They might have all have gone, and that's a valid point. That's a valid point. If I'd left it until the end of January or whatever, and then applied, having the money would be no help if all of the places have gone. So yeah, it was, as I said in the video, it was born of a late night, slightly tipsy, very tired thing to do, but it probably wasn't an entirely disastrous thing to do. In many ways it makes sense, and yeah, puts me in a situation where I don't have to worry per se, I just have to make something happen. So talking about making things happen, oh, let me just adjust the camera just a little bit. It was just going off on the wonk a bit. Talking of making things happen, right, a couple of people have said, what about the possibility of leaving Windybum before I'm forced to? So assuming I've got the seasonal pitch from 1st of January, why not give notice? I think it's a month's notice I would have to give, because I pay a month's rent in advance, and leave the cottage, rather than pay for 2 places. That makes complete sense. And people have said, you know, you could sell off the furniture. Somebody even suggested having an auction to sell off my belongings to subscribers. Interesting idea. Right, I need to bring something else into the equation, something else that is lurking around. Now, sorry, I'm getting a bit dry-mouthed, I'm rattling away here, I'm getting quite enthusiastic about it all. Now, my longer-term viewers will know exactly what I'm talking about, the Sherpers Lodge. For those of you who are new to the channel, quite a lot of you recently, I've had about 1,200 new subscribers in the last 2 weeks. So many of you will be new and won't know what I'm talking about. So I will very quickly explain. Above the restaurant, there is a large space. It used to be, oh hello, somebody's going for the big overtake. Blimey. But the Beatles got mental. Yeah, there's big space over the restaurant. Now, there was a time when it was 3 flats. It's now all 1 space. The person who owned the building used to live up there. And when he was older and retired and his health began to fail, I was often up there giving him a helping hand, looking after some things for him. He was a nice chap. Naz, his name was. Sadly, he's no longer with us. His son is now, de facto, the landlord, with quite the bursting property portfolio. Now, Naz asked him, his son, never to sell this particular building. That's the one he had a personal connection with. He opened the restaurant like 35 years ago, something like that. It was the first Indian restaurant in the East Midlands, or in that part of the East Midlands, and it was his home, and he asked that it never be sold. Now, we would love to buy the building. We would dearly love to buy the building, and we would make big changes. When I say we, I mean obviously the company. I tend to use we, because, you know, I might be an employee, but it's more like a family. So despite the fact that I am just an employee, I feel like part of the family. You know what I mean? I'm just explaining the we. Yeah, we would love to buy it. He won't sell it. Now, the place upstairs, as happens with old buildings, especially when they're occupied by elderly people. The condition tends to go down, doesn't it? Now, after Naz passed away, there are a couple of tenants up there, bit on the dodgy side. The building just went to rack and ruin. The tenants left, and the building lay empty. I had the idea of opening it as an Airbnb. So we made an arrangement whereby the landlord would have the place refurbished to purpose. We would add upstairs to our commercial lease, and I would run it as a whole space Airbnb. I've forgotten what they call it, but you know, where you rent the whole house, not just one room or whatever. Entire house, entire space. There's a term, can't remember what it is. So that was what we were going ahead and doing. This was about 2 years ago now, maybe. And long-term viewers, you know what happened. A firm of cowboys, which is ironic because they were technically Indians. They managed to be both cowboys and Indians. Were engaged, and they asked about the place for a year or so and left it in far worse state than they found it. They completely ruined it. Now, if you're a channel member, search for a video called the Sherpers Lodge. That was what we were going to call the Airbnb, the Sherpers Lodge. Search for that video, you will see the state that they left it. And that was after being paid a large amount of money, 80,000 quid to be precise. Basically, they asked about, pocketed the money, and as I understand it, sodded off to Pakistan. Now, by the way, this is in any way no slur on Indians, Pakistanis or Asians. I'm an honorary Hindu, an honorary Nepali, an honorary Asian. I'm mixed race myself. You're not going to find a hint of racism in me, mate. I've been the victim of racism. You won't find me on the other side, but there you are. That is what it is. And the place was left in a state of rack and ruin for another considerable period. So let's roll forward to where we are now. Recently, some more people came in to work on upstairs. Now, it looked to me as if it was going to be the same story again. They didn't look like proper builders, proper contractors. Forgive me. And I thought, here we go again, it's going to be the same thing. He's got some mates or family. The previous people were, I think, family-in-laws, so I'm told. I don't know the full details. So other people have been in. Now, it appeared that they might be doing things a little more properly. Scaffolding appeared, and things were actually slightly improved. Now, I have not been back inside. I am told, well, I was told by the guys doing the plastering that all of the plastering has been done inside, all of the work's been done, and it just needs painting and decorating. Outside, it looks like a lot of rendering has been done, and that just needs kind of finishing off. So it's perfectly possible that the Sherpers Lodge, or the upstairs area, will be finished. Never thought it would happen, but, well, I suppose it had to, because what's the landlord going to do? He's got that space, the building's just going to be falling apart, he can't do anything with it, he can't earn any money from it. At some point, if he was ripped off, at some point he was always going to have to bite the bullet, say, okay, that money's gone, can't do anything about that now. Well, maybe he can, I don't know, that's his business. But at some point he was going to have to put his hand into his pocket and get it sorted. So maybe that has actually happened, or is happening, or whatever. However, I am not aware of the landlord's intentions, and sadly the landlord's mother has been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. He is away in Pakistan at the moment, and he has no doubt got other things on his mind. And speaking as somebody who's lost both his parents, my heart goes out to him and to anybody else who's facing that situation. Now, as I say, I don't know his intentions. Perhaps the original deal is still on his mind. Now, the original deal would have been that the landlord supplied the refurbished space. We added it to our commercial lease, possibly at no additional cost, and then we just split the profit from upstairs 3 ways, split it between me personally, the company, and the landlord. There are other options. The property could be added to the lease at a cost, and the landlord just gets his rent as a matter of course. We run the business, and the profits after costs would be split between me and Vishnu. That was the plan. That was the plan. But obviously I would be doing that living from Windy Bum. Now, that could, for all I know, still be a possibility. I don't know. Now, I had a meeting with Vishnu last week, brought him up to date on the situation, and he said, yeah, fine with me. If we'll have a meeting with the landlord when he comes back and sort it out. So that could possibly happen. Oh, and Bish also said, obviously, again, if you're brand new to the channel, we have another restaurant. The company, breathe in. You could have gone over a little bit to your side, my dear chap. You weren't exactly in the ditch. The company has another restaurant, not a million miles away, in Claycross. I wanted to do the same in Claycross. I wanted to turn upstairs into an hotel. Now, that was much easier because the company owns that property. And that is happening. We got planning permission earlier this year, and work is progressing on that. So that's going to be more of a small boutique businessman's hotel rather than an Airbnb. Now, the deal was always that I would run that, I would manage that. I've got no idea if that's still the case. It was my idea, it was my baby, my brainchild. And at the point when it made sense to do it, we're doing it. It was always understood that I would manage it. I don't know if that's still the case, but it could be. If it were, then obviously that's an additional income stream which is going to help. Bish also said, look, if push comes to shove, if upstairs Ripley doesn't work, come to Claycross, set up a little place in the upstairs in the hotel, which would probably, so if that's probably another possibility to throw into the mix. And if I were to be running the hotel, then it would make sense to have a base there, so which would be, an office with effectively an office and a small amount of, I don't know, living quarters or something, where I could just hang out. I don't know. That's going to take a bit of thinking through, but it might be useful to have somewhere that I could go periodically to wash clothes or have a bath or or something. My firm intention is to spend all of the time in the seasonal pitch. Right, but going back to the Sherpers Lodge, this is God, I'm dribbling on with this, aren't I? So if that were to come to fruition, it could kind of be the same thing there. That I could use that as an occasional base when it wasn't let out. And the point is, I've just got some cars behind me. I'm just going to pull in here for a second while I finish talking to you. Then I can just concentrate on what I'm saying. How long have I been going? Yeah, time to. Where was I? What was I saying? Yeah, the Sherpers Lodge, that would be first choice. That could work out really well. If we get that, then, and if I can run that as an Airbnb, then another income stream, a potential part-time base with a washing machine and a bath. But here's the salient point, going back to Windy Bum and furniture and all of that. If I got the Sherpers Lodge, then that would change things, because all of Windy Bum's furniture could just go to furnish the Sherpers Lodge. Most of my furniture is nice. Some of it is a little bit valuable. And it's certainly got a lot of personal history and memories attached to it. And I would quite like to hang on to it. So this is just kind of a reply to people who've been talking about leaving Windy Bum early. Yeah, that is an absolute possibility and would make perfect sense. Excuse me while I blow my nose. I'm just holding off on all of that for a while until the landlord comes back from Pakistan. We have a meeting and I know what's happening with the Sherpers Lodge, and I have a timeline on what's potentially happening. Then I can make a more informed decision. The dream case scenario, as far as I'm concerned, would be we get the Sherpers Lodge. I run it as a complete space Airbnb. I furnish it with everything from Windy Bum. So everything from Windy Bum just goes whoosh straight into the Sherpers Lodge. I'd have to get more stuff as well, because the Sherpers Lodge is considerably bigger than Windy Bum. But that would be the perfect solution. I've still got all of my furniture. It would still be part of my life. I run the place as a whole space Airbnb. And obviously I would be living close enough by to make that practical and viable in terms of handing over the keys, cleaning, doing the changeovers, whatnot. I'm only going to be up the road at Lickpenny, aren't I? So that would all make perfect sense. It would be an additional income stream, which would be great. And it would be somewhere when it wasn't occupied, I could have the odd night there and have a bath. Because I quite enjoy a bath. And do some washing, you know. So there you go. That would be, in my mind, the dream case scenario. So I'm not going to make any decisions at the moment until I know whether that's going to be a possibility or not, and some timescales. Now, if I know that it's all going to be done by January the 1st, say, and we can have it on January the 1st, then yeah, I'll put my notice in December. I'll leave Windy Bum in January, have all the stuff taken to the Sherpers Lodge, get that up and running as soon as possible and as an Airbnb, and live in Netty in the seasonal pitch. That additional income from Sherpers Lodge would mean that I'd be able to buy a Caravan so much sooner, and we could accelerate all of our plans. Obviously it would also help with well, there wouldn't be a problem then, would there, with paying for the seasonal pitch, because I wouldn't be paying for Windy Bum and I'd have additional income from the Airbnb. So there you go. So for everybody who was, you know, discussing those things, then yeah, absolutely, all definite possibilities. I just need to know where I stand with the Sherpers Lodge. Oh, I hope that all makes sense. I hope that all makes sense. Oh, goodness gracious me. Right, come on. Okay, I think that covers everything I wanted to cover in this daily diary. I hope that everything that I've just gabbled and garbled about makes sense, especially if you're new to the channel. That a video, as I say, if you're a channel member, do check out the Sherpers Lodge video, see the state it was left in. But that will also, there are before pictures in that video as well, so you can see what it was like before they wrecked it, and that will let you see the possibilities of how it could work as an Airbnb and how well Windy Bum's furniture would fit into it, by the way. So check out that video. On the subject of channel memberships, thank you to all of my channel members for the support. It means the world to me. Thank you to anybody who has ever gifted a channel membership. That's really, really appreciated. And final note on channel memberships. Channel memberships start at 99p per month and go upwards from that. I am fully aware that 99p a month is a deal breaker for some people. I've been there before, kind of still there now. So I get that. I don't want anybody to miss out on channel membership because they can't fork out 99p. So I say this at regular intervals. If you would like to be a channel member, so your name is in green on the live streams, you get access to, I don't know, the 60 or 70 channel member only videos that are on the channel and all of the other perks that come with channel membership, but you can't afford or you can't justify 99p, please send me a private message and just, you don't have to explain, you don't have to say this is why, just say I'd like a channel membership please, and give me your details and I will send you the money to get your channel membership. Nobody will ever know, it'll be entirely private. You don't have to justify it or explain why you can't do it or won't do it. Just tell me you want a channel membership, give me a bank details or a PayPal address, and I'll ping you the money on an ongoing basis and you can be a channel member. I'm not willing for anybody to miss out on anything because they've had the misfortune to be taken skint. I've had the misfortune to be taken skint myself, although it's not a misfortune, as I covered earlier. It was a personal choice. But I'm not letting anybody miss out purely because they can't afford it. So, serious offer, and it's a genuine offer. I've done that. I've done this. I'm doing this. You won't be the first, and you won't be the last. If you're not a channel member, you would like to be, but you can't afford or justify it, just ping me. Just ping me, and no questions asked. The money will be there. Get your channel membership. Happy days. Happy days. All right then, darlings. As I say, I just hope that all of that waffling and wittering made sense. Thank you for all of your comments, all of your support, all of your good wishes, all of your kind thoughts, all of the above. Oh, everybody's saying knock the Monday trips on the head, save the money. Yeah, absolutely. I will probably still do this Monday, but that'll be the last one until we're all sorted. Obviously, I need to financially focus on what I have inadvisably and slightly drunkenly committed to. So yeah, and keep the comments rolling in on the videos, and that will give me something to talk about in tomorrow's daily diary, which I look forward to very much. In the meantime, all the love in the world from me. Can't wait to see you on the next one. So on that note, toodle pip. Cheerio, darlings. Oh, that's a bit narrow.
The YouTube channel's not any good, but he's a nice guy. I'm sorry, Mr. Boaty.
Oh. You had me at YouTube videos. Let's go, Boaty.
Boaty's such a great guy, very tall,
Such a great guy. I wish Boaty was here in America with me right now.
You twat. Wanker.